Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best, if not the best midfielders in the world of football today. He's setting the world on fire with his strength, curved balls, stunning long shots, and his overall completeness. So how does he do it? Well, it was a long road of rejection and determination that led De Bruyne to where he is today. It all started in a city in Belgium, Ghent. Now, Kevin De Bruyne has a very mixed background. Ever since his youngest days, De Bruyne was a common visitor in England because he had a lot of his mom's family living there. On the other hand, Kevin also traveled through Africa a lot, as his grandfather was a big oil investor in the continent. Obviously, growing up in Belgium itself was a mixed bag, all of which provided Kevin with multiple learned languages that he'd benefit greatly on later in his career. Kevin's first club was Groningen, where the youngster started playing when he was just 4 years of age. His talent jumped out straight away. De Bruyne was a star just at 7 years old. The media members would commonly interview him both before and after the training session, and all of Belgium had their eyes set on an impossibly talented boy who showed real determination and talent that's never been seen before in the country. Sufficient to say that every scouting service in the country had their sights set on him. However, Genk were the eventual winners, with Kevin joining their academy at 14. Now, this didn't just mean that he would play football there, but also that he would live away from his family. This strengthened his character, and according to himself, he didn't have a single problem taking care of himself ever since. Managing myself, something my parents taught me. I am not somebody who spends a lot of money on my life. I keep it for later when I want to do something for vacations, because we don't have a lot of time off. During the season I'm at home, I cook myself good food. I'm happy. I've lived alone from the age of 14. While he was learning outside of the pitch, he was progressing on it too, so much that he made his way throughout the ranks and made his debut for Genk in 2008 when he was just 17. This period of his life where he had no one but himself to rely on and where he had a lot to prove because many doubted the young boy who was exposed to the media from his earliest days, toughened De Bruyne up and perhaps makes a big part of why he's so good today. Interestingly enough, De Bruyne played with his current Belgium teammate, Thibaut Courtois in Genk, where the duo pushed each other forward, as they were both considered some of the top talents in the country. Kevin quickly became one of the best players in the club, even though he was also one of the youngest. He established his status in the 2010-11 season, where he was the best assist maker in the league, with 16 in 22 matches. It was pretty obvious that Belgium was on the verge of getting their generational playmaker, and he had to be taken care of. Everyone realized it was time to move to a bigger club and face bigger competition in order to develop. So, in January of 2012, Kevin De Bruyne picked Chelsea. However, he would spend the remainder of the 2011-12 season with Genk, as Chelsea wanted him to play consistently. His arrival to Chelsea wasn't a pleasant one. After playing only a couple of friendly matches, the Londoners quickly dispatched Kevin to Werder Bremen on loan. This is where De Bruyne showed he could do it on the largest of stages. Many doubted he'd be able to make an impact in a league as strong as the Bundesliga, given that Chelsea got rid of him for that season very quickly. Instead, De Bruyne had a very successful loan spell at Werder, showcasing his all-around presence in the midfield, as well as a rare skill to play with both feet equally successfully. However, once the season had ended, a return to Chelsea didn't do any good. Perhaps it was the lack of sheer physicality at the time that backed the Blues away from keeping De Bruyne and their squad for the 2013-14 season. Even though he actually made an appearance for Jose Mourinho's team at the beginning of the season, assisting in a win against Hull, but that amounted to nothing, as Chelsea sold him when the $22 million offer came in from Wolfsburg. And then the path to stardom started to take place for Kevin. He was scoring some worldies for Wolfsburg and Bundesliga, dominating the midfield no matter who the opponent was. In his first season, the team managed to secure a Europa League spot. However, it's his second, the 2014-15 season, that really put De Bruyne in the spotlight. He broke the record for a number of assists in a single Bundesliga season with 21. It was and still is an unprecedented feat, made more impressive by the fact that he wasn't playing for 2 or 3 of the best clubs in the league. De Bruyne also added 10 goals, and this is what actually makes him so good. He's a constant threat to score from the midfield, but also with a perfect touch and feel for the game, allowing him to break assist records consistently. His curled, sharp right-footed cross from the right was an unstoppable move back in the Bundesliga, as well as it is today when he's playing for Manchester City. It was this season that actually recommended him to the citizens, who pulled the trigger with no hesitation, buying out De Bruyne's contract for a staggering $76 million, an offer that neither the player or the club could reject at the time, as he became the most expensive player in the Premier League history at the time. And then it was time to compete at the very highest level. Kevin De Bruyne was a jackpot right from the get-go at Manchester City. In his first season at the club, he started with a bang. League Cup, Premier League, Champions League, you name it. Kevin was scoring and assisting left and right amidst making the 23-man shortlist for the Ballon d'Or award in 2016. However, an injury struck soon afterwards, sidelining the brilliant Belgian for 2 months. However, as soon as he returned, the biggest stage of them all was awaiting, the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City clashed in the quarterfinals, and it was a pretty even matchup. The first match ended 2-2, and the second leg looked to be the decider. It was then that Kevin De Bruyne showed up, scoring the only goal of the match, opening the way for his team's progression to the semis where Real Madrid awaited. Los Blancos were too good to get past, however, and City's Champions League journey ended on a sour note, as the opposition didn't show much more than them. The 2016-17 season saw Pep Guardiola arriving to Manchester City, and this changed everything for De Bruyne. Even though he was undoubtedly a world-class player at the time, Pep Guardiola utilized De Bruyne like never before. The Belgian played in the half space, occupying the space between the lines, brilliantly reading and threading through the opposition defense with his teammate David Silva, and they were a creative force to be reckoned with. The game plan centered around creating space so that Kevin could receive the ball comfortably and make the right decisions. It took some learning, though, as City lost out to the Premier League race with Antonio Conte's Chelsea going strong in Guardiola's first season in Manchester. But the second season was a spectacle, to say the least. Kevin De Bruyne was the focal point of the record-breaking Manchester City side, who won 100 points, shattering all sorts of records in the process. De Bruyne ended the season with 16 assists, showcasing once again why he's considered to be one of the world's best playmakers. As an award, he received the Premier League Playmaker of the Season award, as well as making the PFA Team of the Year. Oh, worth noting, he was also the Manchester City Player of the Season. So many things combined into making De Bruyne the ultimate footballer. When you look at midfielders, some are very physical, while others are lacking the physical aspect, but excel in technique and quickness. Well, Kevin is a rare find because he has both. Dropping off the opponents with his shoulder is a common occurrence for De Bruyne, while being almost immovable from his feet once he sets in with the ball. His brilliant understanding of the game and technique allows him to move forward and create something out of nothing. But perhaps his most impressive aspect is his unmatchable cross and shot. De Bruyne can shoot from anywhere, anytime, using either of his feet. Not only that, but he finds his teammates with ease in all positions. All of this makes him one of the most well-rounded players in football today, and is part of the reason why Guardiola holds him in such high regard. The season after Kevin helped City win the Premier League title, they saw some heavy competition from Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who managed to win 97 points. However, it wasn't enough for the Reds, as De Bruyne led his team to winning 98 points, just edging it out for his team. Even though he was injured for most of the season, the Belgian showed up in some crucial moments. This season, it looks like the Premier League title is slipping away. Nevertheless, Kevin is playing perhaps as well as he ever has. He already has 14 assists to his name so far, and he's seriously threatening to break Thierry Henry's Premier League assist record, as the Frenchman once had 20 in a single season. Pep Guardiola singled him out just recently because De Bruyne left the Spaniard stunned. Kevin De Bruyne was incredible tonight. He won the game for us. He has always been incredible since we've been together. His commitment is incredible. He's a spectacular player. It's hard to disagree with Pep. Kevin De Bruyne is indeed a spectacular player. And while he's one of the best of his generation, there's still something missing: an international success. Ever since he was haunted by the media as a young boy, the whole Belgian public looked at De Bruyne as the savior to lead the new generation to glory. In truth, Kevin was crucial in an amazing World Cup run for Belgium in 2018, but they fell to Brazil in a thrilling matchup. But Kevin will get an opportunity to make his mark on international football this summer. Belgium is one of the favorites to win it all in the European Championship starting in June. The golden generation is peaking, with all of De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois playing at their best. However, everyone is looking for the young boy from Ghent to lead the way, just as he did so many times before, and become the hero that will unite Belgium and all of its people behind one of the best players of our generation.